Hello, ActiveSage here on the Sage channel. It is Sleep, Art, Game, and Eat. And today I'm going to be showing off some nonsensical stuff that I put together to show off, well, the nonsensical things that you can do with these artificial gravity blocks, or I should say artificial mass blocks. And I'll just start out with this first one here. Basically, most of my creations today are chain-based things, basically with the artificial gravity blocks, or artificial masses, pardon, at the ends of them. And this one here is pretty simple. We got our artificial mass right here. So let me go ahead and turn on this generator. That way the artificial mass will be powered up, voila. And then we have another one at the other edge of these chains right over here. Oop, and I've gone ahead and flown past it. There we go, that one's now on. And then we have our little control seat here. This is actually a station that they're connected to. And the idea behind this is, well, let's just see what happens when I turn this on, shall we? And I have my gravity generator to the left and right of where I'm currently sitting, designed to push away from the station itself. So let's go ahead and turn things on. And there you go, pretty simple. They go, oh, okay, relatively simple. They just get pushed away, and the chains, of course, you know, first bounce and then unfold to their full length. It's pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, you can't really rotate with this or anything. By the way, if you'd like, here's the gravitational fields. Each of those gravity generators actually have their normal fields reversed, so that instead of them pulling down towards the center of the station, they're pushing away. And this is about all we can do here, but what we could do to make it slightly more interesting, let's hide that. We can hover over here and go ahead and start sticking a few more artificial masses onto this. And as we do it, you see it bounces a bit more because it's getting pulled slightly more than the other one. Let's keep doing. Okay, now we're in trouble because now there's too many of them. Look at that. Because the power pull was too much, it instantly, you know, shut off. I stick a new power generator on there and it's being pulled again, and now it's doing sort of a, I don't know, rubber banding thing. It's pretty awesome, but it's not a glitchy rubber band. So let's keep sticking a few of these on there. Same thing happens. Give it some more power. Once again, I'm pulling. I just love the fact that it can rubber band like that. The chains hold up and everything. It's a lot of fun actually to fiddle with. Let's just keep going until we break this, shall we? Just stick a few more of these on here. Any second now we'll lose power again. Let it drift back a bit. That way when I turn it back on, it'll get pushed hard. Uh-oh, there we go. There we go. For a second I thought it flew into the area in the middle where the power would not be affected. And you see there the chain is starting to reach its breaking point where you can see a few pieces actually being pulled apart. That's pretty good. And you actually see some impacts there because this thing is so huge now. It's pretty dang strange. Let's add a few more of these, shall we? Let's see if we can just keep it going. I just stuck one on the wrong piece. Any second now it'll lose power again. God, it's becoming a monstrosity. There we go. And then let's power it back up. And uh-oh, it might get flung all the way around this time. Nope. Rubber band. Okay, it broke somewhere. Yeah. And now, of course, this is flinging just around free. And if we were to cut this, that's a lot of fun. Old-fashioned chain fun, just cutting it and it'll spin off. So there's that. Let me go ahead and power this down. That way it doesn't interfere with any of our other stuff here. So click, click, power down. No trouble. And of course this one just goes limp now since it's got nothing to affect it. And the other thing's just spinning. So the next one up here is actually a ship. And this is a large, very strange ship. These are basically set up the exact same way those were. Nothing special about them. They're actually the same length, I believe, as well. But in here is the same design as the station, except for, of course, this is a ship, so now it can control it. And I sort of just was experimenting with building with glass and stuff. So you can see inside there we got our gravity generators just as before, and then I was also experimenting with building with glass, having engines and stuff, so we can move the ship out. So anyway, let's fly through these open doors here. A bit silly even having doors or stairs or anything in this ship since the gravitational fields are so funky in and around it. But now let's go ahead and actually I need to go back out there and power up the artificial masses first. Let me do that. Alrighty, so there we go. Artificial masses have now been powered up, and now I can turn on this ship, and once again, like before, they're pulled out, and you see the ship slightly twitching a bit, because of course this is not a station, it's being affected in little ways, but overall it's about the same. Now, because this is a ship, what we can do is start to turn and pull it, and you can see these get flung. Oop, that might actually hit us and break something. That could have been bad. And see, now we can do funny things like that and move it about, and of course they're being affected by the gravitational fields. If I was to turn those on, you can see we got reasonably large gravitational fields to keep them inside, and as long as they don't get too close to the ship, they will still be actually pushed outwards away from the ship to the left and right. So I don't have to worry about them hitting too much. If we fly forward, they'll of course get pulled back towards us, but of course they're always being pushed outward, so they're going to stay relatively straight. So that's pretty funny, isn't it? The fact that I'm actually moving like 60 meters per second, yet somehow these aren't being flung back too far. Now if I was to stop suddenly, you can see they get a bit flung forward. Very, very cool. And of course, correct, now if I was to spin, this is where we can very quickly end up being spotted by there. Oh, also my engines seem to have just severed themselves. Yeah, let's chalk that up to a bug or something. I don't know. It's weird. They shouldn't have been able to affect each other in damage. And see here, if I stop, now they've crossed over into each other's fields. Ooh! And actually flipped about and severed themselves and tossed them off into space. That didn't exactly go to plan, but I was hoping they'd actually wrap around and then just start springing to the left and right. Let me go back to the base and show you another thing then, since the ship decided it was done, I guess. Alrighty, so we're back here. Next thing, this is basically a large chain like we had before with a gravity generator at the end as well as the artificial mass. And this is actually set up so it shouldn't actually be affecting too much more than just this. And back here we have a landing gear because this is all a ship connected to a station to keep it in place. So if I go ahead now and fly about over here and turn this stinker on, so clickety click click clicking, well it's instantly being pulled, and if I show you, that's its gravitational area. And again, that's a reverse gravity generator. It's not actually pulling downwards as it usually would. I've reversed it, and you can see here it's, wow, okay, that was close. It's doing some weirdness here because it's trying to pull itself about, and it's just trying to pull. Oh, it's actually just severed itself free from the station. I think it actually destroyed the station block. So now it's basically free floating and fairly odd, and you can see it's actually changing directions as it's flung off in this space. Very, very strange. So I took that idea and I said, okay, well, let's try to evolve that a bit more, and let's go ahead and have one on each end. And this one should be a slightly more interesting. I think I'll actually cut it free. It should do some stuff. And that last one I actually tested before. This one I haven't. So let's be quick, considering that one did destroy itself, which was unexpected. This is one we don't want it doing that right away. Come on, let's not drift past it now. Okay, that's a lot of bad stuff happening in the background. There we go. So now it's both on, and let's actually set it free before things go really wrong. Okay, there we go. And now it's flinging itself around on itself, and yeah, it's just the strangest dang thing you've ever seen, really, isn't it? Okay, well, I should have seen that coming, that it was going to hit itself. But yeah, let's try that one again, eh? Alrighty, I'm back here. I've reloaded the world. Let's go ahead and really quickly turn these on again. This one's pulling this way. Hopefully we can get to the other one and set it to begin pulling before it flings about and hits itself. So let's just get over here, hit K, and turn on our small reactor. There we go. So now they're both pulling. Once again, starting to do strange stuff. Flinging about, that was awfully close. Shall we cut them free again? Okay, there's going to be an impact there. They're actually twizzling about each other now. Okay, and they've managed to sever things free, and this one might actually hit something else. Wow, that was close. And you see there, it's sort of like a snake with a rocket on its head, pulling itself off into space and then being flung about. Very strange, incredibly unstable, actually. I thought that would be a little bit more stable than it was, and it definitely wasn't. And the other piece is just gone. So let's move on. After that one, which was a two-way thing, I decided, hey, surely that'll work out. Let's do that with four-way. So here we go. This is a four-way one. And I suspect this will be even more insane. The ropes, I believe, are a little bit shorter, which actually should give us a little bit more stability and hopefully prevent it from tearing itself apart in 2 seconds, but we'll find out. So there we go. That one's activated, and the chain has just gone out to its maximum length. It's once again flying about. We've already had an impact. Looks like it's already severed 2 of them. That's no good. I really need to try to figure out a better way to turn all these on in the future, I think. Actually, no, it's only severed 1. So if we can really quickly get over here and turn this last one on, we'll have all 3 active. And we might actually be able to see something. I just saw an explosion in the background. Dag nabbit. What's still attached? Nothing. Just this one here. This is the only one that's still attached. The others severed themselves. That didn't exactly go to plan. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and cut this free. Go on, go be... Oh, crap. Go be free, you ridiculous, strange chain. Let's try that again. I'm going to tweak it a bit first, though. Alrighty, so what I've done is basically shortened it and moved the movement bits closer to the middle. That should at least give us some more stability and less chance of them flinging about and hitting the side, so we can see something interesting happen here before it all goes to pot. So anyway, let's go ahead and really quickly try to turn all these on before everything goes wrong. Let's go ahead and grab that one. Okay, these are being moved. That's dangerous. That means it must have bumped into it. Okay, what the hell? Alrighty, so I've loaded the world back up once again. Now that we know that this just isn't practical, it breaks itself apart too quickly to be able to switch it on. What we really need is to have a control center right in the center there, and basically be able to control things through rotors. So this would all count as one large ship. The game would look at it as different ships, but you could affect things on this ship from the center seat. So let's say if I had a reactor right there, this would actually be powering all of the artificial masses and gravity generators at the far end, so I wouldn't have a bunch of different reactors. That way I could just have a, control seat over there like that, have everything shut off, go ahead and press Y, boom, that one reactor would turn on and it instantly just activate all the things at the ends of the rotors. Be very, very nice, but unfortunately it doesn't quite work like that. Anyway, since this seems to be unusable because it takes too long to get to the different ones, then I have to go, of course, and then cut off the bottom piece. I think it's just too unreasonable to use it all. We can try one last thing, but I have a very, very bad feeling about this actually. Let's just do it really quickly. Okay. Go ahead, hop in here, and reactor on. Okay, that's being pulled. It's pulling the whole station now. We have to really quickly catch. Okay, that looks kind of cool, but that's not what I intended. Okay, it's all going wrong. Okay, I didn't think this through clearly. I was going to try to catch the other reactors and turn them on, but they seem to be just flying away from me now. It's like a three-headed serpent being pulled away by its tail, and I can't seem to catch any of the other heads to give them control. Okay, yeah. Alright, so yeah, just have to scrap that until we have a better way of turning those all on at once. So this is the very last thing I have to show here today, and this is basically similar to that, except for the gravity generators aren't at the edges. They're sort of, stuck to them, so I can control them from there with the simple press of a button, but it doesn't have the exact freedom of these being able to pull in whichever way they happen to point. Of course, these are always going to be pulled outwards. So the idea being with this, it's basically like some of those, the very first ship way down there, except for this is going to pull in 4 directions equally, theoretically. And I'm just thinking some nonsense might happen. So let's really quickly fly between all of these and turn them on. Alrighty, so there we go. I just did that. They're all online now. And simple enough, we can just hop in here, and these gravity generators are set once again to push outwards from the way they usually would. So let's go ahead and turn it on. And yep, as I suspected, they're starting to do some weirdness and wobble stations. Actually, a little bit more stable than I thought. I expected like 1 or 2 of these to actually shoot off in a weird direction and cause some nonsense, but they seem to be pretty good actually, which I'm fairly surprised at. We are getting a bit of a weird rotation now. Again, you always seem to get rotations with these things, but it's slightly more expected now. Maybe if wow, we're speeding up. Maybe if I had made these a bit longer, ooh, that wouldn't be happening quite as... Wow, okay, I'm getting a bit dizzy here. This is, okay, I'm starting to feel sick now, and that's not good. Okay, let's get out of that before it makes me feel too sick. And, so yeah, I've created a... I don't even know what the hell I've done. But, it looks sort of like a robot with 4 legs doing disco dance from hell or something. Right. So, that's nonsense. Alright, as you might have been able to tell, I wasn't really too happy with what had happened there. The results I was very, very unpleased with. So, I've gone ahead and I've taken the large ship that we had down there, copied it up here, and decided to redo basically everything we had down there with it, with heavy armor blocks, and actually at an angle too that hopefully they won't collide as easily, so hopefully we can see something more interesting. I know that the slanted armor blocks there might have less durability, which might actually result in some trouble in the end, where they break more easily, but I'm hoping they won't, so let's go ahead and test this really quickly. And of course there was a cut there because I had to go ahead and turn on the reactor. So anyway, now everything's set up, let's go ahead and turn this on once again. Huh? Oh, there we go. Now they're starting to go. That was weird. I turned it on and nothing happened. Ooh, they even look a lot better with those slanted blocks. And yeah, they're fiddling out there. This is working much better. It did work indeed before on this ship, but I'd say it's working even better than before. It's looking much, much smoother with those nice slanted blocks. I probably should build everything out of heavy armor. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Let's see if I do another spin thing. If we wrap these around, if it'll just sever through again. Oh, there's some weird... Oh, now they're both on the one side. Again, they are holding up a bit better, though, with heavy armor. I think that was a good thing. Actually, now, because they're both on one side and pulling that way, I've lost an engine randoms too. But they're pulling the whole ship to the right. We're actually not spinning as much as I expect. Let's go ahead and shut down our inertial dampeners. And now I wish there was a button to just automatically shut down your gyroscopes, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and kill our gyroscopes. And indeed they are just spinning the ship about. Now of course they're going to fling out of range possibly, and okay. Yeah, we're getting some weirdness going on here. Let's see, are they in range of the... Oh, I guess I know it does that. Yeah, there's both in their own rights now, but they're not really quite balancing things out as I expected. If I could get them both on the left side, let's go ahead and turn on our gyroscopes just for a minute here. That of course slowed us back down and flung one over. I'm wondering if I do a quick right turn though, can I fling them both onto the right side? I can't. Oh! Right. So there was a colorful explosion for you. Alrighty, so there's that. That was pretty cool. Let me go set up another one of them with heavy armor and see how much better that looks. Alrighty, so really quickly, before I set up another one of them with heavy armor, I was thinking, let's do a quick test here, and actually just cut off the back end of the ship, go ahead and stick ourselves a reactor here, and now this should act as, basically like some of the other stuff I wanted to see earlier, where it's got the two being pulled at either direction, and they actually seem to be balancing themselves out pretty well. I'm wondering if I had moved the gravity generators closer to the center point over there, if they might be seeing something different, but overall, they seem to be balancing out pretty well. Let's go ahead and make this a bit unfair, though, and just go ahead and do a bit of clicking like this. There we go. Oh, that was too much. That was too much. That was too much. Let's give it some more power. There we go. And now, of course, it's just being flung madly, and chaos. Alright, let me go retrofit another one really quick. Alrighty, so here we go. It's one of the basic setups from down there where we have the gravity generators on each end with their artificial masses to pull them apart, and I've also gone ahead and armored up the basic spawning platform, the, what you can call it, station. That's the word I was looking for. The center block is still just a normal one. I forgot to do that before I put the large ship on there, but overall it should be a bit more stable just in case one of these do fling around and hit it. Hopefully it won't break in half. Now, as per usual, we still got to be pretty dang quick with this, so I'll hit this one and try to rush over to the other one nice and quick. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Maybe they'll stay. Nope, there we go. I was hoping they'd sit still for a second, but there you go. They're definitely running all over the place trying to get free. And now let's go ahead and turn this one on. Bingo. And on. There we go. We actually got them both on this time. And now that they're both pulling, let's go ahead and try to cut them free before we end up in a spot of bother here. There we go. Awesome. There you go. Now we got them both trying to pull in different directions, sort of like a two-headed snake having a fight over which way to go. And hopefully they won't end up just agreeing, because that would be a bit unfortunate. And you can see it's, yeah, it just keeps itself moving. It's pretty awesome, actually. Whoa, there was a big hit and spin around. Yeah, I like this a lot. It's actually seeming to, like everything else, find itself in a bit of a constant rotation. It actually seems to be accelerating pretty quickly away from me. Yep, unless suddenly I'm gaining on it. Alrighty. So, yeah, that's pretty strange. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll try it one more time without cutting it free. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. Alrighty, so here we are. We're going to try to turn these both on now. And multiplayer server cannot be started, so we just got an interesting error. That means whenever I open a menu, the game actually freezes, which could actually be kind of good for this. Something I probably should have had set up anyway, but here we go. Let's turn these on. And now let's not even disconnect them there. Let's just see what happens when they're both trying to pull and still stuck to the middle point. And hopefully they won't break. Wow, that was... I thought they were going to wrap around each other, but they didn't. That's fairly interesting. Huh. Man, this heavy armor sure as hell makes it more sturdy than before. I get the feeling, though, in a second we might end up still with the collision. It's very, very strange. I'm not going to go and redo all these right now. It's a large time effort redoing these chains. So this will just have to do for now. Yeah. Wow, I really... yeah, that was me panicking for some reason. Yeah, I really probably should have built them all out of heavy armor just to begin with. But, Anyway, this will be up on the Steam Workshop if you guys want to fiddle around for your... Oh, there we go, they finally broke. And it wasn't the heavy armor that went, it was the rotors, because of course they were just sitting there. Oh, I thought I was going to hit something cool. Nope. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. He just seems so lonely, like a camera spinning around like, oh, I'm all alone in space. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, screw you, bog standard doors. Screw you. Windows.